It does not begin with a heart attack, not a collapse, not a sharp pain. It starts with something quiet. You pass by it in the grocery store. A small can, tucked on a low shelf. You barely notice it. Your eyes go to the supplements instead. Bottles that promise youth, energy, strength. You reach for them. You skip the can. Every time, that little can of sardines. Why? Because we were taught that something so cheap, so simple, could not possibly be helpful. We were told health must cost money. That healing comes in capsules, not food. But what if we were wrong? You see, that can often ignored is full of what your body may truly need. Not just one nutrient, but many, working together. The kind of support that no single pill can offer. But before we go deeper, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt confused by health advice? One day they say eat more fish. The next, they warn about mercury. 1 week, it's fish oil pills. Then you hear real food is better. It becomes overwhelming. So let us return to something simple, to something real, to a small food with a big story. But first, if you have ever felt tired of the noise, if you want to take back control over your health in a natural way, then stay with me. Subscribe to Senior Fit, because aging does not mean decline. It means making smarter choices. It means giving your body what it remembers, what it understands. Now, let me tell you a story. Mr. Johnson is 70 years old. He takes his health seriously. Every morning, he lines up bottles, fish oil, liver oil, omega-3 capsules, each one carefully chosen, each one expensive. When Mr. Johnson sees them, he frowns. They smell too strong. He says, "They're poor people's food. I don't want that." So Annie eats them herself, quietly, week after week. 6 months pass. They both go for a checkup. Mr. Johnson's results are concerning. High triglycerides, signs of artery stiffness. But Annie's report strong, healthy. Her doctor says her arteries look 10 years younger than her age. The doctor asks what she eats. Sardines. She says, just a couple times a week. The doctor turns to Mr. Johnson. She's doing something right. He says, those supplements, they help. But what she's eating offers more. And from that day, Mr. Johnson changes his mind. He tries the sardines and never looks back. What does this tell us? That sometimes the best support for our body is not expensive. It is not flashy. It is quiet, simple, and it has been waiting for us all along. And next, we will begin uncovering why this little fish has been misunderstood for so long, starting with its most misunderstood trait, the smell. Let us begin with the part that turns most people away. The smell. It is strong, ocean-like. Some say it is too much. They open the can and immediately push it aside. But what if we have misunderstood this? That scent so sharp, so real comes from natural omega-3 fatty acids. The very nutrient many of us are trying to buy in pill form. You see, smell is not always a sign of spoilage. Sometimes it is a sign of purity, of something alive with nutrition. When you open a can of sardines and notice that scent, you are smelling the ocean's own medicine. Not masked, not diluted, just real. But many of us were raised to believe that if something smells strong, it must be bad. We live in a world full of fragrance-free lotions and odorless tablets. So when food dares to carry its natural identity, we flinch. But real foods are not always quiet, and neither is healing. Now, if the smell bothers you, try this. A few drops of lemon juice over the sardines can soften the edge. A pinch of parsley or a light touch of ginger powder can balance the flavor. These simple additions do not hide the fish. They help you meet it halfway. Now, let us move on to the second misunderstanding, that canned foods are unhealthy. Many believe that once food goes into a can, it loses all value, that it becomes artificial, preserved, stripped of its goodness. But this is not true for sardines. Modern canning uses high heat and pressure to preserve the food safely. No artificial preservatives needed. And for sardines, this process creates a benefit you cannot get from fresh fish. His wife, Annie, is more traditional. She believes in food. One day, she brings home sardines. Just a few cans. She read they were healthy. That is one of the hidden gifts of sardines. You are not just eating fish. You are taking in calcium, already softened, already ready to help your bones. Not the kind you find in pills, but real, natural calcium that your body can absorb. Sardines also give you vitamin D, the nutrient that tells calcium where to go. Think of calcium as building blocks. Without vitamin D, the blocks have no direction. They never reach the bones. They pass through your body unused. But with vitamin D guiding the way, every bit of calcium knows where it belongs. And together, they help rebuild what age tries to wear down. So, in one small fish, you get both. The raw material and the guide. This is something most pills cannot offer, because most pills separate nutrients. They isolate. But nature combines, and that is what makes sardines special. They do not give you one answer. They give you many, all working together, all in a form your body understands. So the next time you hesitate at the smell, remember what it carries. Remember what it means. It is not just a scent. It is a sign that something real is waiting to nourish you. And now that we have cleared the air, let us go deeper. Let us talk about how this little fish protects something even more vital, the heart. Now let us turn to the organ that keeps it all going, the heart. It beats quietly, day and night, without pause, without complaint, over 100. 0 times a day, every beat carrying life. But over time, the vessels that carry blood begin to change. They narrow. They stiffen. They build up with layers of cholesterol and fat, and slowly, silently, the risk begins to rise. That is why so many people take fish oil. Fish oil is praised for its omega-3. It helps reduce inflammation. It supports better blood flow. And yes, it matters. But let me ask you this. Why settle for one nutrient in a capsule when you could get an entire team working together in one bite? Sardines are not just fish with omega-3. They are full of heart-protecting nutrients that work in harmony. Let me walk you through them. First, omega-harum. It helps clean the inside of your arteries, gently removing what builds up over time. It is like a soft brush for your blood vessels. Second, CoQ10. This is the fuel your heart muscle uses for energy. Without it, the heart tires faster. With it, the heart beats stronger, longer. Third, selenium. This mineral acts like a shield. It protects your vessels from oxidative stress, the kind of damage that comes from daily wear and tear. It keeps your arteries elastic, not rigid. And then there is vitamin B12. essential for nerve health, including the nerves that control your heartbeat. When B12 is low, irregular heart rhythms can occur. With enough B12, the beat stays steady. All of this inside one small fish. Now, compare that to a fish oil pill. You may get omega-3. Yes, but you miss the rest. The teamwork, the balance. This is why whole foods often outperform supplements, because nature combines things for a reason. Now let me tell you something remarkable. In Japan, researchers followed thousands of older adults for 10 years. They compared those who took fish oil pills to those who simply ate small fish like sardines twice a week. The group that ate the fish, they had almost 30% lower risk of heart attack and stroke. 30%. From food, not pills. That is not a theory. That is a fact. Proven, measured, lived. And think about it. Sardines cost less. They nourish more. And they bring no side effects. So why do we keep reaching for the bottle? When something better is waiting on the shelf, it may not come in a shiny package. It may not have a big label. But it works. And the heart knows. Next, let us look at another silent struggle. One that many face daily, often unnoticed, until it becomes serious. Let us talk about blood sugar and how this little fish can make a surprising difference. Let us turn now to something millions of older adults are quietly battling: blood sugar. Maybe your doctor has mentioned the word pre-diabetes. Or maybe you are already checking your numbers, watching what you eat, feeling uncertain after every meal. You are not alone. Blood sugar problems often begin slowly. At first, you feel a little more tired after eating. Maybe you get dizzy when you skip a meal. Then one day, the numbers on your lab report are higher than they used to be. That is how it starts. But here is the hopeful part. Sardines might help. They are not a medicine, but they are a smart tool, because they support your body in two powerful ways. First, sardines are rich in protein and healthy fat. When you eat them with carbs like rice or bread, they slow down how fast sugar enters your blood. This keeps your blood sugar curve smooth. No big spike. No sudden crash. Second, sardines help improve insulin sensitivity. That is the key to long-term blood sugar control. Let me explain. Insulin is like a key. It unlocks your cells, allowing sugar to enter and be used for energy. But over time, especially with inflammation, the lock becomes rusty, even though the key is there. The door does not open well. This is called insulin resistance. It is one of the main causes of type 2 diabetes. But omega-3 and vitamin D, both found in sardines, help reduce inflammation. They help fix the lock. They restore the door. They make your body respond to insulin again. That is how things start to change. Let me share a true story. George is 68. At his last checkup, his fasting glucose was too high. His doctor said he was close to needing medication. George was worried. He did not want to give up all the foods he loved. He just wanted balance. He made one simple change. Twice a week, he added sardines to his lunch. Nothing fancy, just a small can, with brown rice or salad. 3 months later, his blood sugar had dropped. His A1C improved. His doctor smiled for the first time in years. Why? Because George supported his body the natural way. Gently, consistently, without fear. This is what sardines can do. They give your body tools. It understands, not chemicals, not restriction, just nourishment. If you are living with blood sugar concerns, or trying to avoid them altogether, remember this: food matters. Timing matters, and the right choices, repeated over time, bring results. Sardines are not a miracle, but they are a helper. And sometimes, that is all we need. Now, let us talk about another fear that many face. A fear deeper than numbers. The fear of forgetting, of fading, of losing pieces of ourselves. Let us talk about memory, and how sardines may help protect your most precious thoughts. Now let us turn to something even more personal. Your memory. It starts with small things. You walk into the kitchen, but forget why. You search for your glasses, and they are already on your head. You pause, mid-sentence. Trying to recall a familiar name, we laugh it off. But deep down, it worries us. Is it just aging, or something more? The fear of memory loss is real. And for many, it is the hardest part of growing older. But what if your brain, like your heart, like your bones, just needs the right support? Let us talk about what sardines can do for your mind. You may not know this, but your brain is made mostly of fat, and the quality of that fat matters deeply. One of the most important is DHA, a type of omega-3 that builds and protects brain cells. DHA forms the outer layer of neurons. It helps them send messages clearly, connect faster, and stay healthy longer. Sardines are one of the richest sources of natural DHA, not in capsule form, but in the form your body was designed to use, and they offer more than that. They also contain vitamin B12. This nutrient protects the outer coating of your nerves like insulation on wires. Without B12, the signals in your brain become slower, less accurate. Confusion grows, focus weakens, and then there is vitamin D, the quiet cleaner. It helps your brain remove harmful waste products. One of these is amyloid, a sticky protein that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. Vitamin D supports the brain's natural cleaning system, and sardines bring it naturally, in every bite. So in one small serving, you get 3 critical protectors: DHA for brain cells, B12 for nerve signals, and D for clearing toxins. Let me tell you about Ruth. She is 73, a retired librarian. Lately, she found herself forgetting book titles, losing her train of thought mid-conversation. It frightened her. Her daughter, a nutritionist, suggested she try sardines. Ruth was skeptical, but she trusted her child, and so she added them to breakfast twice a week. A few months later, she noticed something. She could finish her puzzles again. She remembered names more easily. She felt sharper. It was not a miracle, but it was enough. Enough to feel like herself again. This is what nourishment does. It supports you, quietly, without side effects, without drama. If you are feeling a little foggy, if your thoughts are not as fast as they used to be, know this: you are not alone, and there are steps you can take. One of them may be as simple as adding back something nature already made for your mind. Now that you know what sardines offer, how do you pick the right ones, which are best, and how can you enjoy them without feeling overwhelmed? Let me walk you through it. Now that you understand why sardines matter, let us talk about something practical. How do you choose the right can? Not all sardines are the same. Some are packed with health. Others are packed with salt, sugar, or fillers that work against your goals. So here is what to look for. First, check what they are packed in. The best options: olive oil or spring water. Sardines in olive oil are rich, flavorful, and preserve fat-soluble vitamins. They taste smooth and help your body absorb nutrients better. Sardines in spring water are lighter. They are great. If you are watching calories or prefer a milder flavor, avoid cans in tomato sauce or brine. Why? Tomato-packed sardines often contain added sugar and sodium. They may taste nice, but they're not ideal for blood pressure or blood sugar. Brine-packed cans are high in salt, something to limit if you have kidney concerns or hypertension. Second, check where they come from. If possible, look for sardines from countries like Portugal, Spain, or France. These regions are known for higher fishing standards and better processing methods. Their sardines tend to be cleaner, smaller, and tastier. If the label says wild caught, even better. Now, let us make it simple. Here are a few tips to enjoy sardines without any fuss. Straight from the can. Open. Squeeze a little lemon. Eat with crackers, toast, or rice. That's it. Sardine toast. Mash them lightly with a fork. Spread on whole grain bread. Top with tomato slices or cucumber. It is quick, filling, and heart-friendly. Sardine salad. Mix with chopped onions, parsley, and a touch of mustard or plain yogurt. Serve with greens or inside a sandwich. Sardine omelet. Beat 2 eggs. Stir in sardines. Cook gently. The result is warm, protein-rich, and full of healthy fats. If you are new to sardines, start with a small portion. Use fresh lemon juice, herbs, or even a sprinkle of black pepper to balance the flavor. Most people are surprised how quickly they adjust. Some even begin to crave the taste because their body recognizes what it has been missing. Let me share one more tip. Do not overthink it. Sardines are not about fancy meals. They are about ease, real nutrition that fits into real life. And yes, there are a few people who should be cautious. If you have gout or high uric acid, sardines are high in purines. During a flare-up, it is best to avoid them. In remission, ask your doctor how much is safe. Otherwise, for most people, sardines are one of the most affordable and powerful health foods available. So the next time you pass by that little can on the shelf, pause. Look again, because what sits inside is more than a fish. It is a chance, a reminder, a step back to simple, effective nourishment. And now, in our final part, let us talk about something deeper. Not nutrients, not recipes, but what this all really means for how you choose to age and the kind of life you still want to live. We have talked about the heart, the bones, the blood, the brain. We have looked at cans, labels, and simple recipes. We have heard real stories, quiet victories, gentle recoveries. But now, I want to ask something deeper. What kind of life do you still want to live? Because this is not just about sardines. It is not just about food. It is about power. Your power to choose, to rebuild, to move forward on your terms. Aging is not a failure. It is a process. And like any process, it can be guided, nurtured, supported. The truth is, many of us have been misled, told that strength only comes from pills, that health must be purchased in expensive bottles, that aging means slowing down, giving up, letting go. But your body is still listening. It still responds to care, to nourishment, to consistency. One small can of sardines may not look like much, but inside is a message your cells Understand. Omega-3 for your heart. Calcium and vitamin D for your bones. Protein and fat for your blood sugar. DHA and B12 for your memory. All of it in one humble meal. Let me ask, what if the greatest act of self-care is not a dramatic change, but a quiet decision, a steady hand reaching for the shelf, a simple plate at lunch, a choice repeated week by week until you feel different? Because healing does not always look exciting. Sometimes it looks like routine, like food that has been here all along. And it begins with awareness, followed by action. So here is your invitation. Before the week ends, buy a can of sardines. Not for anyone else. For you, eat it slowly. Taste it fully. And while you eat, remember, you are not just feeding your body. You are feeding your future. You are choosing clarity over confusion, strength over decline, wisdom over noise. And if this video meant something to you, if it sparked a thought, a memory, a shift in how you see things, then do not keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, with your spouse, with someone who deserves to feel strong again. And if you want to keep learning with us, if you want gentle guidance, quiet strength, and truth without hype, then stay with us. Subscribe to Senior Fit, because growing older does not mean fading away. It means growing deeper, more rooted, more present, more alive. Take the next step. One quiet can, one strong heartbeat, one day at a time. We will be right here, walking beside you. Until next time, be well, be strong, be kind to yourself,